The ticking. Have you ever heard a tick nearby? When you can say with certainty that there is no mechanical watch nearby. I first came across this at the age of 9. He often stayed overnight at his cousin's place, and at night, the floorboards creaked. An old house with wooden floorboards and linoleum on top of them. We stayed up late in the room, chatting, and when we went to bed, I heard someone walking steadily and slowly, as it seemed to me, from the hall to the kitchen. But still, I thought it was someone wandering above, and even with that steady creaking, I fell asleep. But one day I woke up in the middle of the night and I heard the clock ticking. It's like a mechanical alarm clock at the head of the bed. I raise my head, silence. I lie down and it starts ticking softly again. And then it gets louder and louder. I even got up at night, went into the hallway and compared the sound with the wall clock that hung there. Well, it never looked like them. After that, I stopped liking staying with him because it kept me awake every time. Anyway, then they moved out of this apartment, not because of the ghosts, and somehow it was forgotten. Second, they lived with their first wife in their apartment quite far from the city by the standards of that age, 30 kilometers from their parents. Adult type. The apartment is new. In general, it's beautiful. I noticed it first. After 1 o'clock in the morning, it starts to feel like water dripping onto the linoleum, with clear spacing and sound. I remember getting up, looking, there doesn't seem to be anything running anywhere, and going to bed. Well, fuck it. The house is new. It was commissioned just 6 months ago. You never know what's there. 2 days later, my wife wakes me up and says that something is leaking. I'm listening. Yes, it's dripping. We spent 20 minutes trying to find what and where, but nothing. There is a sound, but there is no source, and it didn't happen during the day. No matter how many times they didn't listen. And you know, we're used to it. Then an egregious story happened to us, but it took a very long time to write about it, and after which the drip drip stopped. The third, I already had a second wife, lived with my parents, saved money for an apartment. She is in her 4th month, and one night she wakes me up. She was a light sleeper, and says, "Do you hear?" I listened, but nothing happened. Well, be quiet. Listen. That's right. I heard the familiar tick-tock from the past again. It's just as quiet at first, and then it increases in volume. You start to approach where it's ticking from, and there's silence. You go to bed and tick-tock again. There was not a single mechanical clock in our apartment, not even a wristwatch. We found the way out. It starts ticking. Turn on the TV with low volume. The only thing is that a little later, a rather terrible incident also happened to us, which could not be explained and which my parents witnessed. I ran to wake them up to make sure that it was not glitches, and indeed fear. Fortunately, it all did not disappear when they ran into our room. In fact, I described it because many people here have encountered something inexplicable. Have you had any such harbingers? Ticking, dripping, in general. Such distinct similar sounds with a clear interval. I remembered all this and also wrote because the clock in my room started up again last night, which is not there. It's all unpleasant.